Hi guys, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be my February beauty and lifestyle favorites. February is a short month, so I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, I'm Jody. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Hope you're going to enjoy it, and if so, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up while you're watching and hit the subscribe button if you would like to be friends. Now without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into the video. I started out the month really strong in terms of trying out new beauty product and rotating through my collection. Unfortunately, things kind of took a turn for the worst with my puppy. I posted on the community tab to let you all know, and so the later part of the month I wasn't wearing that much makeup. Despite that, I do have a few goodies to share with you that I was really loving for the month of February, as well as a couple of fails that were kind of disappointments. I have a few makeup items to share with you. The first is a brow pencil, which was really surprising to me, and this one is something by the brand Real Her. It's their definer brow pencil, I Am Inspiring. I'm not sure if I Am Inspiring is the color or if it is just the name of their brow pencil, because I'm not seeing any other shade listed on it. This is something that I got in the subscription box for sure, because even though I like the idea of this brand, I believe it was created by a father in honor of his daughter. Something like that. I'm not 100% sure on the history, but I do like the idea of it. I haven't intentionally gone out to purchase anything from the brand, and though I have a few items, they've been mostly from subscription boxes. I know that Nordstrom carries this brand, however, and I'm actually really impressed with their brow product. So one of the first things I like is that the two caps are different sizes. I know I keep harping on this. I mentioned it in my monthly makeup basket for January, but it's really important to me to know that I'm not going to be jamming the edge of my brow pencil into the cap. These don't contain a whole lot of product, and so it's important that you use every last drop. And I really like this pencil. The spoolie is not my favorite because it's a little bit short. You see, it's a little bit shorter than a traditional spoolie. However, if you focus on the point, it's a really fine point, and the product itself is really creamy. It's not too waxy. It's more on the creamy side, and so I've been really enjoying this pencil for underlining underneath my brow. I've been rotating through my brow products, and so I put away my ABH brow powder, which is usually my staple, and I pull this out, and so I was trying to get the outline underneath my brow with this, and it is so easy. You have to apply just the lightest pressure, and you could potentially fill in your entire brow with this, but I prefer to keep the sharp point for that defined edge that I want, and then I fill in my brow with a pomade. But this is a really nice pencil, and if I were ever to be on the market for a brow pencil, I would definitely check this one out. My favorite has always been the Benefit Precisely My Brow, but this is definitely a contender. I like that this one is less waxy because I really have to apply just the minimal amount of pressure, and I get that line and definition underneath my brow that I really enjoy. So this was a very nice find within my own collection. I did also want to mention a concealer, and this one is the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. I know that this is a relatively new launch. It's one of those things that went viral on TikTok. With this one, I have mine in the shade beige, I believe. Yes, it's in the shade beige. It's got a 6-month shelf life, made in China, and you do get 0.32 fluid ounces of products. I only use one pump of this concealer, and I can apply to both eyes. It is the concealer that I'm wearing underneath my eyes today, and I like it for an everyday kind of concealer. It's not one that I would go to for a full glam because I have really dark under eye circles, and I like to really cover them up when I'm doing full glam, but when it comes to work or everyday makeup, this is a really good option for me, especially if I apply just a tiny bit of color corrector underneath. I think that it gives me a really nice natural finish, and one that looks good even if I'm not wearing foundation. It blends really nicely downward with just my skin, and so I really enjoy it for work and for everyday use. It really has very nice coverage. It's definitely more hydrating and a thinner consistency, and that's precisely why I like it for the everyday and not so much for the full glam. But this is a really nice concealer. I'm glad you guys brought it to my attention. Someone commented on that TikTok video I made that this was a TikTok made you buy it. That was actually worth it, and so I wanted to try it for myself, and you were absolutely right. It's a really good concealer at the drugstore. Now, I've already mentioned that I'm kind of rediscovering my own collection, and I'm working on a video where I want to share with you products that I'm using within my own collection to satisfy the urge to buy new launches. And this is a product that I picked up specifically for that purpose. Now, unfortunately, this product is discontinued at this point because the brand is on hiatus. It's by KKW Beauty. It's not something I can link for you or recommend you go out and buy because you just can't buy it anymore. But if you have this kicking around in your collection, it's a pretty good contour product. I don't even have the exact name of this anymore. I went digging in my collection because I was really interested in the Rare Beauty cream bronzer sticks, especially the shade that has that cool tone for contouring. And this really reminded me of the packaging of the Rare Beauty. It has a cap and then the product kind of dispenses in a rounded form. And people are saying that that one's really creamy, really easy to blend. And I remember I had this brand new in my collection. The shelf life of this is not long at all. Let me see. It says, I think it says 12 months. It's so tiny, I can barely see it. But it was brand new in my collection. I took it fresh out of the packaging. And here's what that looks like. This is super creamy, just like people are describing of the Rare Beauty contour stick or bronzer stick. And this is what I've been using to contour all month long, exclusively this product. Once I tried it once, I was like, wow, this is really, really good. And because its shelf life is kind of short, I figured let me just focus on this for now. This had a lot of drama when it came out because you're getting very little product for sure, but it is really, really nice. And I hope that once Kim Kardashian kind of gets her brand in order, if she wishes to continue that she brings these back because these were really, really good. I wish I knew that then. I mean, not that I need any backups of anything really, but if you have this kicking around, pick it up. I have mine in the shade 1 Contour, but I know that this came in a variety of shades and it's one that I really hope makes a comeback when she brings her brand back. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is an eyeshadow palette, and this is the P. Louise Watch the Queen Conquer palette. I believe that this may be the newest release in her collection that is sort of a full-size palette. I think she has some mini palettes that were launched after this. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't really keep a close eye on the brand, but I was seeing a couple of people share this palette on Instagram and on YouTube, and I decided to pick it up because I found it on sale. And it's a double-sided palette. This is what the first side looks like, and it is so, so pretty. This side is all pinks and purples, and then the other side is more earth tones and greens. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. This is the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes. I'm actually wearing a combination of 3 palettes on my eyes, but the majority of what you're seeing is from this palette, in particular the top row from this eyeshadow palette. And even though at this point I have not used every single shade, I mean, this is how many shades is in this palette. Let's see. It's 42 eyeshadows, so you definitely have plenty here. It opens up kind of like this as well, which is bulky, but it is really nicely done. So even though it's bulky, I kind of forgive it because the packaging is unique and really, really pretty. But the quality here is really great. I mean, I was really impressed by the Blend Bunny formula in January for my January favorites, and this month this formula reminds me of that Blend Bunny formula so much, especially in the way that the mattes perform. The shimmers are really nice as well. They're a little bit of a thicker formula, but they also really pack a lot of impact. And I was mostly impressed with the mattes. I usually create a look with a lot of mattes and then 1 or 2 shimmers. And so my focus has been on the mattes with this palette, but even the shimmers are really, really beautiful. I created a really pretty look around the shade Strategy earlier in the month, and it has been a joy to work with. Very easy to use. The main reason why I would recommend the Blend Bunny formula over this one, there's 2 reasons actually. The first one is that the packaging is a lot less bulky. And then the second is that with this palette, even though you can see the gradients, you can see the color gradients very easily, the way that Blend Bunny arranges their eyeshadow palettes, you can see the gradients easily organized in columns. It's super easy to create a look. So for that reason, that formula is a little bit more beginner friendly when it comes to creating looks. But in terms of quality and performance of the eyeshadows themselves, this is definitely on par with Blend Bunny. And so it is a favorite for this month. I've been really enjoying this palette. I have one more makeup type items, one hair product, and a lifestyle product. So the last makeup type item is this little brush by Koki, and this is the 624. I purchased this brush eons ago. I believe, oh my goodness, it was a video that Desi Perkins made on her channel. I believe she was doing like cream contouring. It was an old video. It was before she even had her baby. And she mentioned Koki Cosmetics brushes. And she used one specifically for application of foundation. I bought that one too. But when I was placing my order with Koki Cosmetics, I threw a couple of things in the cart, get free shipping, you know how it goes. And this is something that I had tossed into my cart. And I pulled it out when I was working on cut crease style eyeshadows. I'm turning the brush on its side so you can see how very thin it is. And then I like the nice curvature at the top. It's got really nice curvature. So the way that I've been using this brush is with my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. And the reason why I like it is because this is a potted eyeshadow primer, and I can dip this in there and get just the edge of it covered with product, and then usually I'll kind of smooth it out a little bit on my hand so it's not too much, and I can stamp to create my shade, and I can also draw to create the shape of the cut crease that I want. And I have a brush by MAC Cosmetics that's super similar, discontinued now, but also much bigger. And when I want to do more detailed work or work with my smaller hooded eyes, a brush like this is perfect because it's the same exact quality, similar shape, it's just smaller. And I think with a smaller brush, you can get better precision. So I really hope they still make this number 624 brush. And if I can find it, I will definitely link it in the description box for you. I have it nice and clean so I can show it to you in its pristine form. But it's a really nice quality brush. And the other ones that I picked up from their collection, I have not been disappointed with either. Now you might think this brush might be good to pick up shimmer eyeshadows. I wouldn't recommend it for that purpose just because the bristles are a little bit too smooth. So they're very tightly packed together, and so they're just a little bit too smooth. And even though they'll pick up a little, it'll just give you like a sheer wash. And typically with shimmer shadows, that's not what we're looking for. So I wouldn't recommend it for that purpose, but for cut creases, it's a gem. I love it. Onto the hair product. The one that I wanted to share with you was by Living Proof, and this is their Full Dry Volume Blast. I'm sure that this is another subscription box find because it's a texturizing spray. It's supposed to be a hybrid between dry shampoo and a texturizing spray, I believe. And I really like to use it when I put my hair in waves, because after I put my hair in waves, I kind of apply this. I'll lift my hair and spray a little bit, and it gives my hair just a little bit of a volume boost. Like right now, I have it in my hair at the top, and the top of my hair is really fine. I have really low density of hair there. And it's very flat, especially when I flat iron it like I did today. Usually it's like super flat. But you can see that it has a little bit of lift at the roots, and it's because of this. It's really good when my hair is flat ironed, but even extra good when my hair is in waves. I'll usually like spray underneath and scrunch up, and it gives you a little bit of texture. It has a little bit of grit, but not something that makes your hair feel dirty or weighed down, or like you sprayed a ton of hairspray. It's not that kind of grit. It's just a little bit so that it kind of catches on itself and gives you that fullness. In addition to that, it plays well with other products. So if I apply hairspray or if I apply dry shampoo later on, it plays perfectly fine with those products. And with the texture and grit that I'm mentioning, you can easily comb it out and then have hair that's ready to be styled in a different way. If you have more cooperative hair than I do, usually once I style my hair one way, it's like that until I wash it. But yeah, this has been a real lifesaver for my really fine, limp hair. My natural hair is actually curly, but it's really damaged from years of fighting its natural texture. And so things like this have really made my life easier. And so if you struggle with those things like I do, you might enjoy checking this one out. It's a pricey brand, but it's really good quality. And a little bit of this one does go a long way. Their dry shampoo, I go through it like water. But this one, it lasts me a significantly longer amount of time. So I think this one is worth the investment. The last thing is more of a lifestyle item, and I actually have it sitting right here. It's my iPad, but it's specifically the app GoodNotes. And you can see right here, actually you can, the screen's picking up really well. This is my favorites and fails for February. As I'm using products, I kind of keep my list going on things I'm loving, things I'm not loving so much. And that way I can keep notes throughout the month and come back and share them with you. Obviously, you can do this on paper as well. But what's really nice is that there are different like templates. Like for instance, you can have like a calendar. See, so like you have a template that's a calendar and you kind of fill it up with whatever you want to do. I also have my deck of panning, which I showed last time. So you see I have little images of the products that I'm using, and I have little tick marks of like how many times I'm using it and what I think of it. I have my new deck of panning on here, which is my Natasha Denona Xenon palette. So that's another kind of template that I have. I have my monthly video planner here, so I have a list of all the videos I want to do. I put a check mark if I filmed. I put the date that I upload. It's just been really, really great to organize. I have other things here, so let's see. My one in, one out. I'll show you January. So I list all the items that I picked up and I added to my collection, as well as items that are going to be leaving my collection. It's just helped me really get organized with my YouTube channel. And in actuality, this is something that I bought for work because I'm lecturing a lot over Zoom, and I like to annotate PowerPoints and then handwrite chemistry problems when I'm teaching. And so the iPad really is a work investment, but I have found that with this app, it's called GoodNotes, I have created like a little journal for my YouTube channel. And so even though I had to make this investment for work, I also found a way to make it a fun investment as well. I really, really, really like it. And you can import your PowerPoint presentations and annotate them. You can annotate PDFs. It's really good. It goes far beyond what the Notes app can do on an iPad or on a phone. It also has cloud server, so with my account with this GoodNotes, I can actually pull up my GoodNotes either on my computer or on my phone, and everything that I've created on the tablet is on my other devices. It's really good, you guys. I'm really enjoying it. I have the paid version, but it was a one-time purchase of $8, and I don't regret it one bit. It doesn't have any additional purchases. Once you make the $8 investment, you own it, and that's it. It's good to go. You don't have to buy anything else. You don't have to worry about ads or anything like that. It's great. I really, really like it. Let's get into a couple of fails. Now, these are my absolute favorites and my pretty bad fails. I do have another video, which is like my monthly shop my stash, where I share 100% of all the products I've used all month. So maybe products that are just in the okay range or workable kind of thing. And so you can see my thoughts on a lot more products in that video. It's like a monthly makeup roundup. I know a lot of people do them that way. I'm just calling them my shop my stash, where I organically pull items into my monthly makeup basket throughout the month. And then I kind of focus on using those products specifically. And then at the end of the month, I come back and I let you know how everything worked out. So pretty soon after this video, I'll have that video up for you where I go over everything that I have in my monthly makeup basket. And so you'll see my thoughts on a variety of other products, other eyeshadow palettes and things like that. But these things are like the very, very best and the very, very worst. So let me tell you, one fail is something that I received in my Beautylish lucky bag. So I received this Hourglass lip oil. So let's see, this is the lip oil in the shade Bare, and I don't dislike this product, but this is a very, very pricey product. My first complaint with it is that it took me, if you saw that video, it took me ages to get this to start coming up. And it does, now it does. And the shade, it comes in a variety of shades, but the shade really disappears. It's not like the Merit lip oils that it does give you a little bit of tint. At least this shade that I received in my box, it looks pink in a swatch, but it's really like a hydrated version of my lips in terms of the color. And it feels fine. I've been using it before I apply my makeup to hydrate my lips in preparation of whatever lip product I'm going to use. But what I don't like about this, and somebody commented on that video that it has a funny smell. It does have a funny smell, not like it has turned, and not like it has fragrance either. I know sometimes luxury brands put fragrances in their products, but this fragrance it couldn't have been intentional. It feels like, or it seems like it's a product that it's just an ingredient. It doesn't have a taste, but the fragrance is so distinctive that it almost makes me feel like I'm tasting it. And so I don't love that about it. It works. I'm going to continue using it. I'm not going to declutter it, but it's not my favorite. And then I also don't love the packaging because once you apply it, I kind of like to wipe off the applicator. You see, it's one of those metal applicators. Otherwise, it looks dirty inside the see-through packaging of the cap of it, and I just don't like to look at it that way. I like my makeup to look nice, and so things like this, they just strike me as a little bit messy. It's similar with the NYX concealer. You can see the cap has a tiny bit of concealer there. Usually I wipe it down every time that I use it, but a little bit always transfers to the cap. I mean, it's okay. Makeup is intended to be used anyway, but just the smell of this, and for the price, you can do better. The Merit lip oils are much better. They're not that cheap, but they're like half the price of this, or at least like $15 less than this one. This is a very expensive lip oil, and the Merit ones are just better. The next product that was a little bit of a fail, I should have known. I really should have known. It's my own fault. This is by Too Faced, and this is their Hot Cocoa bronzer. So this was their limited edition bronzer. It was a release for the holidays. I bought it when it went on sale, so it came with one of the lip injection glosses, which I've been honestly afraid to try because I don't like those tingly lip plumpers, and I've heard that the Too Faced ones are the absolute worst. But I did try the bronzer, and I blame Teresa is Dead for this one, and it smells really good. It smells like Swiss Miss hot chocolate mix before you make the hot chocolate. You know, like the powdered hot chocolate mix. That's exactly what it smells like. It's super cute. It's super cute. And I've used it a lot, and the imprint is still there. You can still see the little hot chocolate cup with the whipped cream. And she loves this bronzer, but she's super, super, super fair. And she even said that when she put in her favorites or she recommended it in a video. She even said, if you're anything deeper than me, this isn't going to show up, but I can make it show up. But man, do I have to build it up. And I'll use my brush, like this is my Patrick Ta blush brush. And what I like about this one is that even though it's synthetic, the bristles have a little bit of grit and firmness. So I'll go in there and like really, really build it up, and I'll apply it. And it takes a while to build it up. It does show up, but it's really, really, really faint. And so I only pull it out when I have time to really pack this on so that it shows up, and also if I'm not looking for a super, super bronzy look. I love the smell though. The scented makeup, oh, it gets me every single time. So yeah, I think that this is pretty much sold out. I think it's sold out on the Sephora website. They may still have it on the Too Faced website, but I only recommend it if you're very, very fair. It's super cute though. It's definitely cute. I can make it work, but it's not a favorite, and not one that I would recommend if you are my skin tone or deeper at all. My last fail probably won't surprise you, but it makes me very sad to say that the Beauty Bay Love Notes palette was not a win this month. I did not enjoy it. I was really wanting the New Romantic palette from last year, and I was hoping that this was going to satisfy that yearning, but unfortunately it did not. There are a few tones kind of on this side that are slightly reminiscent of that New Romantic palette. I did a complete review of this palette. I think I did 3 looks, 1 palette with this one, and I'll link it in the cards if you want to check it out. The looks were super pretty. There was nothing wrong with the looks that I created. It's just, to me, there were a lot of repetitious shades that looked exactly the same on the eye. So like these 3 shades, they look identical on the eye. Same for some of these purples. Identical on the eye. So there was just way too much repetition going on. The shimmers are really pretty. I would say that if there was something that I really liked out of the palette, it was the shimmers, especially the shade Princess right here. It's a beautiful, beautiful periwinkle shimmer shade. I like the Beauty Bay formula, both the mattes and the shimmers, but the shimmers in particular. And the quality is fine, but I believe that this palette is something that may be best enjoyed again by someone with a lighter skin tone. My complaint is not with the quality, it's with the color selection. Yeah. I created some pretty looks, but I just know that I won't reach I'll reach back into the palette and use it again because it's in my collection, but I'm not going to be looking forward to using it. You know, like the P. Louise palette, I look forward to using that and seeing what I can create. With this one, I know I'm limited. I know I'm limited with the shade selection, and it's just, quality was good, color story, not so much. I have seen that they are going to be releasing 3 new palettes, one of which does include one that is more in those reddish tones. And again, I like the formula, so I'm very likely going to purchase those. Probably the one that has the green and the browns, which is the bigger of the 3 palettes. That's everything for today's video. Do stay tuned for my February monthly makeup basket. I think I call it like Shop My Stash or something. It'll be coming up in the next couple of days, and I'll share my experiences with 100% of the products that I was using for the entire month. This video is just to highlight the very best and the very worst. I hope you did enjoy it and find it helpful, and if so, let me know by giving it a big thumbs up and hitting the subscribe button. I don't have a set upload schedule right now, so be sure and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every single time I upload. I also share those updates on Twitter, and I am active on Instagram and TikTok. If you enjoy those platforms, I would love to see you over there. Thanks again for spending a few minutes of your day with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing really, really well, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon on the next one. Bye-bye.